Hello, everyone. Welcome to the seventh episode of Speed Talk, which is kind of crazy. We're already seven. Today, I'm joined by none other than SudaiDelphi. And yeah, Sudai, very cool. Super Mario Odyssey streamer, speedrunner, uh, and all sorts of stuff. Pretty cool guy. Yeah,
I think all sorts of stuff really fits it. Like Zach
yeah.
said, I'm Sudai. I do speed running, I do challenge runs, I do casual playthroughs. I'm looking to start to get into randomizers. I really just like doing everything.
Yeah, bit of everything.
Yeah. I spend
Did
a lot of time in Cap Kingdom too,
yeah.
obviously, but
Oh, is that why that's your background? Because it's the
all the
reset.
resets, yeah.
Oh, that's actually really funny. I should do that too. Everyone should do that. Except for Tyron, he can put his in Moon because he just never resets somehow.
The consistency king. Like,
Yeah, he's
it's
insane.
amazing.
Yeah. Anyway, I have a list of a few topics that we'll go through throughout the episode, and then we'll end off with some fan questions as usual. Um, so to start off, I know you are one of like the newer people kind of in the community. I mean, I think you've been around for like over 2 years now, I want to say.
Yeah,
Um,
it's like 2 years and 3 or 4 months now.
yeah. So how did you come across the Odyssey community at such a late stage in it, and what made you interested in joining it?
Well, I was already kind of interested in speedrunning because of Summoning Salt. I've been a huge Summoning Salt fan for years, of
Oh
course.
yeah.
And he didn't do anything Odyssey related, but like a lot of people that came in around that time, I stumbled across the Small and Cruise multiplayer videos, their online Odyssey videos, and I was just like reminded of how fun Odyssey movement is. I started watching Fur and Amethyst more from there, and I was like, well, if they can speedrun, I can speedrun. I'm a little older, but I used to be into competitive gaming anyway. I know how all of it goes, and I know being older tends to be a little disadvantage, but like it's not really at the same time, if you know what I'm saying. Um, so I just started learning it. I found the Tom Sheets tutorial within like 2 or 3 days of starting. I got lucky there. Use a Tom Sheets tutorial if anyone's learning SMO, by the way. Um, and I practiced and I started streaming, and there I was.
What was your
Yeah.
kind of gaming experience before the Odyssey community? I think someone said something about competitive Smash in one of the
Ooh.
questions later, but
I've played games and at the very least felt like I was good at games for most of my life. Um, I started real young, like literally when I was 2 or 3. I put my hands on a controller for the first time, playing the original Mario Brothers. Did not make it past the first screen of the first world. Like I think I died before grabbing the mushroom every time. I was 2 or 3. But since then, I've been playing games constantly throughout my whole life. I spent 15 years in the Super Smash Brothers community, playing both Melee and Brawl competitively. Melee, the best I ever did was like eighth in my state, and that was a very short-lived period. But I played it way more than any other Smash game and loved it. Brawl, I actually made a little bit of money at, but I was like second best in the state for 2 years. So I've got a lot of experience with like high-level gaming from that. And other than that, I've just played a lot of games casually. Like I spend at least an hour a day playing a game usually, unless I'm just absolutely exhausted. Usually way more than that, but like an hour minimum. Especially now that I'm streaming, I get 5, 6 hours of gaming every night, pretty much.
damn,
But
yeah, that's crazy.
as to my other experience too, I was thinking about this like because I figured you would ask what got me into speedrunning and stuff, and I was kind of hoping you'd ask about my past gaming experience too, because I feel like I've been a speedrunner for most of my life without even realizing it. And I feel like a lot of other people were too, in my generation at least, because I feel like if anyone's ever rented a game from Blockbuster and tried to beat the game before they had to return it, you were speedrunning.
That's a good way to look at it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, I did not know that you were just the goat at Super Smash Bros. Games.
I,
So that's kind of crazy.
I wouldn't say I am anymore. Honestly, after I stopped making money at Brawl, I kind of stopped playing that and went back to Melee. But I have very little experience in the other Smash games.
Yeah, I have no experience. Well, I have some experience in Smash games, but it's not very good experience. I got Ultimate, um, played it for maybe I unlocked all the characters and then I kind of didn't touch it since then. But
Yeah.
yeah, I'm sure you would destroy me immediately. But yeah,
Sorry about that. My phone alarm is going off.
that's fine. I can't even hear it. You're good.
Okay, good.
Um, so what made you kind of start streaming? Was it just seeing the Odyssey hide and seek YouTubers and wanting to do something in that vein, create your own small community?
It was a little bit of that, but mostly at the time I was just looking for changes in my life. I spent most of my I got my degree in information systems and I've hadn't used it for like 10 years. I was working overnight shifts in hotels for a while and that just wasn't the life for me anymore, you know. So I wanted to try something different and at first I got into real estate for a little while. Did not enjoy it. It's
Yeah,
potentially really good money, but did not enjoy it. And thankfully I have an amazing wife and she was thinking like I was thinking about streaming at the time, just kind of just see if I could do it, you know, but I was like, well, I got to start making money in real estate before I can do that because, you know, what the bills paid, blah blah blah. And she was like, "Nah, you don't enjoy real estate. Why don't you just try streaming?" And I was like you don't mind if I don't have any income coming in? She's like, for a little bit, yeah. And so we talked about it. We agreed we'd give me a year. If I like didn't seem like I was growing at all, I would stop. If it seemed like I was growing a little, she was happy to help keep supporting us and let me try to keep growing and try to expand the audience and everything like that. And so I feel really blessed to have her and her ability to support us, and I'm thankful for that. So those two things just kind of lined up together, and that's why I started with Odyssey. But I think I would have started streaming something regardless around that time. It's just I happen to do Odyssey speedruns.
yeah, that's awesome. Um, yeah, pretty cool that she let you have a year for that. It's very nice.
Yeah, and
And
we're going on
I'm
2 years and
assuming
3 months now.
yeah,
So
I'm assuming it went well considering it's been over 2 years now. So that's pretty
yeah.
good. So when was your first stream? Was that like August, June
It,
2022, something like that?
it was either like I think it was September 2nd, 2022, maybe a little bit before that. I can't remember exactly. My memory is
Yeah,
atrocious, but
no, that's
I put
fair.
some effort into speed running a little bit before I started streaming so I could come on and not look like a complete fool.
Yeah, that's a smart idea. I mean, to be fair, that's kind of what I did well, not like willingly, but like when I was obviously I'm on the younger side, so when the game came out, I started playing it like early 2018, but I was like 10 or 11, I think 11.
Yeah.
Um, so didn't even know I could join the community, and I probably could have considering some of the people in the community now, but I'm very glad that I didn't because 13-year-old me was bad enough.
Yeah, some of the people we get
Yeah.
coming through the community, I'm just like,
I'm
hmm.
glad I'm 25 years older than them or 20 years older than them. I don't
Basically,
know.
which
Yeah.
clarify, I'm 34 for anyone curious. I'm a little old for the Odyssey
Yeah,
community.
so I mean there are probably like 2 or 3 9-year-olds in the community, so I wasn't wrong
There's
there.
probably more people that young
Yeah.
that are just hiding their age considering the rules of the internet.
Yeah. It's kind of crazy. It's really weird too. I feel like in 2018, I mean, I wasn't really in the community that much in 2018, but in 2018, I feel like I wasn't in the community, but I was like observing it from the outside. But in 2018, I feel like there was like everyone was just like an adult pretty much. Like there was really weren't as many like kids. Um, Although I guess a lot of the highly regarded players were actually pretty young. I think Equan was like 15 or something.
Oh wow.
Um, yeah, I think Hey There and Anto were both like probably like 13 or something. So I guess they were pretty young at that point in time, but it just feels like they've always been there. Um,
Yeah.
but yeah, back then, like it feels like it was way more adults, which is probably just due to a lot of people coming in from other speedrunning communities for the brand new game until sub hour, which killed a lot of people in the community, unfortunately.
Yeah. I noticed
Yeah.
something kind of similar happened with Mario Wonder too. It was Like early on, there was a lot of speedrunners from a bunch of different games playing it, and it tended to
Yeah.
be an older crowd running. Well, not old, but older. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Um,
Wonder was
and then
interesting too, yeah. I feel
yeah, it
like
was fun.
yeah.
But then as the popularity slowed that or started to slow down, I noticed the same thing. It seemed like the general population of the community was getting younger and younger on average.
Yeah. I
I think it's just it has more staying power with them because they're not already enveloped in other communities. It might be their first community or something like that, you know?
Yeah, before Wonder came out, I was so intent on like becoming a big part of that community, enjoying the game because it looked like it was going to be so much fun. I played it for like a week. I did like 2 speedruns, and then I Milo from Pace DM'd me and he was like, "Yo, can you still do that all coin stacks run at fall pace?" And I was like, "Thank you." And then I just never touched Wonder again because I wanted any reason to stop playing it. It's just too long for me. There's just so many cutscenes and stuff. Like,
Yeah,
yeah,
it's definitely a painful speed run. I know that there's maybe like 2 or 3 people actively running it. Like I know Suwaki comes back and sets a new world record every like 3 or 4 months. Just that the
yeah,
guy's crazy. He plays like 2 days
yeah,
and gets 2 new world records. Um, and then I think Zimbo's still active too. I think he recently got a new world record in all royal seeds. But other than those two, you don't see a lot of people running it. And I think it's like you said, it's a really long run. Like with no out of bounds glitches, it's like a 2.5 hour run on world record level. And with out of bounds glitches, it's you're only saving like 40, 50 minutes, and you're having to do some of the. I don't know. I haven't done a whole lot of other games out of bounds glitches, but compared to other Mario out of bounds glitches, it feels so like you just have no room to walk when you're out of bounds, and it's just so
yeah.
precise.
I did dabble with the world map glitches before the update. I didn't really care enough about the game to even turn off auto updates. I was just too lazy. But I did like try them out. I might have done one speedrun with them like before the patch, and they were fun, but I know that they've gotten even crazier since then. Like there's those were some of the
Yeah.
early ones. The World One skip or whatever it's called, like where you have to jump like on the bottom of the out of bounds on the map and stuff. That was so much harder than I thought it was going to be when I started
That
trying
that's
that.
Yeah, that's
Um,
definitely the hardest one. That's the
yeah,
one saving grace Mario Wonder with Out of Bounds glitches had. Is it like there was I think 4 or 5 overworld glitches that we did in the run, and each one we did got progressively easier. With like one exception, but for the most part, it's like the hardest thing was right at the beginning. And if it was like at the middle of the run or later, I would not have grinded that game out as much as I did, and I feel like I quit kind of early already anyway.
yeah. How long did you go for with Wonder? For
I think it was like 3, maybe 4 months.
okay,
Oh.
that's better than most. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah. Definitely not as much time as I put into Odyssey or 64, but it it's
yeah,
my best ranking right now. I think just because it's out of bounds is rough. You know, it's not the hardest thing in the world, but you definitely got to practice it a
yeah,
ton.
definitely. Okay, so for your Twitch channel, obviously been growing very well. You pretty consistently have a pretty strong number of viewers. Um, you also stream very late, so that's also probably helpful too, because you got Tyrone and Small and everyone streaming at the same time, which is just the worst. Whenever I start a stream and I see on the live streaming menu Small Ant, CJ, Ferd, like Dangers, Tyrant, like every Odyssey streamer. Um, but honestly, recently I've been doing good too, because of Kaizo. So I've been averaging like 10, 20 viewers pretty regularly per
Nice.
stream. I can't wait to stop doing Kaizo and have 4. Uh,
Yeah,
yeah,
I haven't done Kaizo in like a week or two, or maybe a little longer actually. But it was definitely really good for viewership. I felt
yeah,
like at first there was a few people coming back, and then once more people realized like, well, wait, this is Kaizo. This isn't Superstar that people are playing. This is new.
yeah.
With a ton more people just started coming in. They're like, whoa, this is awesome. And it really
Yeah,
is. It was such a great mod. Shout
it's
out to
yeah, it's
Joy-Con
so
and Red
good.
Slay for it.
Yeah, I shouldn't reveal this early, but I will reveal this early since we're on this topic of Kaizo. But a later episode this season will have Red Slant Joy-Con, which I didn't even have planned until today when they asked me, and I was like, why have I not thought about that? I've thought of so many.
Oh, that's exciting.
I've thought of so many guest ideas, and for some reason, the two creators of the mod that I've been speedrunning for like the last 2 months just did not pop into my head at all. But yeah, that's gonna be a fun episode.
Yeah,
Come out.
I'm looking forward to
at
that
some
one.
point. Yeah, that's gonna be a good one. But yeah, Kaizo is like it's such a fun mod. It's extremely challenging, but practicing it and getting
Yeah.
good at it, like Darker. I think is Kaizo Darker is some of the most fun I've had in Odyssey, which I would have never guessed going into it because of how difficult it is. Just
Yeah.
because if you master it, you really feel like you're just super good at the game because like obviously it's really hard and it just looks impressive even to like someone who's never even seen Odyssey before.
Yeah, I think to this day, one of the coolest things I've done in Odyssey is that Sting Bee section, like actually clearing that
Yeah,
section. It feels
that's
so cool.
yeah,
Like,
yeah, for sure. That's the hardest part of all of Kaizo Darker, in my opinion.
is it
Um,
really?
yeah, I mean, there's definitely. I don't know how. Have you seen all of it now, or
No, so I
no?
cleared the
Okay,
first section and I'm stuck on the only up section right now. That's actually why I haven't played Kaizo for a little bit. I was just taking a
yeah,
break because I got frustrated with that section, but I'm going back to it soon. I'm going back
yeah,
to Odyssey speedruns in general soon and a lot of modded content with that too.
yeah. There's a lot of
So
really cool mods out there. A lot of the time
yeah.
you're streaming a mod, and I've never even seen the mod before. Like,
I'm very lucky.
yeah.
My moderator Krasalu, he's very connected with a lot of different modding communities in the Odyssey
Okay.
scene, and he'll come to me. He's like, "Hey, do you want to play this mod?" I'm like, "Heck yeah!"
Nice. Yeah, I can barely even figure out how to download a mod. It's a whole process for me. Hacking my Switch
Yeah.
is I'm not very good.
Well, I can
Um,
confirm there's a pretty steep learning curve on modding the Switch. I've done a lot of console modding. Nintendo, don't come after me. Um, and like Switch wasn't too hard to mod, but messing with the file system and making sure everything's just right in there is more tedious than it was with most other setups I've used. So I never question when someone has issues with it. Like I get it. It can be rough.
yeah, I get a lot of people in chat like asking me like how to like get the mod and stuff, and I just kind of tell them like, dude, I don't know, I don't know how I did this. Why are you
It's
asking
like
me?
I must have cast some black magic spell without realizing. I
Yeah,
don't know.
I think I just fell asleep and then woke up and I had the mod. I mean, I don't know. I don't remember how to do anything.
I'm
Um,
pretty sure Joy-Con's been breaking into people's houses and putting it on their Switch.
yeah. One time, oh man, this is evil of me. But one time I had this one viewer and he was like, I don't know, he was like probably like 8 years old, just from everything he was saying. And he like eventually asked like how I got the mod, and I was in a VC with friends and we just jokingly said like, oh, you have to like jump in the poison or something in Lost Game like 1,000 times, and then someday the mod will just spawn. And then like 20 minutes later, he was like, but it hasn't worked yet, and I was like, wait, you're actually doing that? Oh no.
It's like the
Um,
old like lunchroom. If you can push the truck, you'll find a Mew kind of stuff.
yeah, it's crazy. But yeah, what was your obviously you're pretty family friendly channel, I think for the most part. Which I
Yeah.
honestly sometimes forget. I feel like I've definitely sworn a few times in the chat by accident, which I apologize for. Um,
No, no,
yeah,
I try to be, well, I wouldn't even say I try to be family friendly. I just tend to be family friendly in general, but I don't mind if people are acting up in chat and stuff, so long as they're not
yeah,
being vulgar or insulting towards other people. That's all I really care about. They can
yeah.
use any
That's definitely the
non-hate language they want.
yeah. That's definitely the main thing. Is just not to be mean to other people, obviously in chat.
Yeah, there's
Um,
no need for all that, especially not in my spaces.
yeah. But how I guess did you kind of create this more welcoming community? You definitely have a more welcoming community than most Twitch streamers I see. I think. I know you have like obviously your Discord server and everything, and it just feels like a different vibe, like going to your stream than going to like most other streams. I feel like it's feels unique in its
I don't
own
know.
sense.
I, if I had to guess, because I don't actually know the reason, because honestly, the community kind of formed itself. But if I had to guess, I think it's just because I have a welcoming and open personality. Like, I think communities tend to reflect some part of their streamer. I'm not saying, oh, if your community's toxic, the streamer's definitely toxic, but there's some part of the streamer reflected in any community, and so I just have to assume it's my chillness. Like, I don't tolerate people being mean to each other, and it doesn't ever really happen. So I that's all I can really assume that it
Yeah,
is. It's just I take everything lighthearted. I don't rage at the game, so people aren't being mean in chat. I guess I don't know. That's my best
yeah.
guess.
That's probably what it is then. I don't know. It's also probably a lot because of like the layout, like the unique layout, and just like stuff like that. I guess.
Yeah, I
It just
have
feels
made a point
pretty
to try
good.
and make sure the stream feels chill. Like if I have any kind of background music playing, I want it to be like it could be upbeat, but I don't want it to be like loud or like chaotic either, you know?
Yeah, some of your be right back screen music goes kind of hard, to be honest. Like, I don't remember what it was, but the one, it might have been yesterday, but I remember I just like had you were on be right back screen and the music was just so good.
Yeah. Yeah, I like it. I actually generated that with AI, which was kind of surprising to hear
Oh,
because this was like 2 years ago I made my stream music and AI wasn't as advanced as it is
oh
today, you
wow,
know.
that's crazy. I thought it
Um
was just like a song on YouTube. That's pretty
nah,
impressive. Yeah.
I wanted something that no one would copyright strike me for, so I went to a website where they actually paid artists to make like snippets of music and then use AI to interweave it all together. So it is actually like it was pretty cool because it wasn't just like they ripped the music off the internet and built their model off of that. They actually like got people together for it and everything.
Yeah, that is a next level streamer right there.
I try to do what I can. I know I can't do everything
Yeah.
myself, but try to take the ethical route on the things I am able to do.
Yeah, there is a lot of there's a decent amount of copyright free music on YouTube, but it is way cooler to have your own custom music, obviously.
That's how I
Um,
felt about it too. I
yeah,
was like listening through a bunch of stuff on YouTube. I'm like, this sounds cool, this sounds cool, but I think I've heard both of those somewhere. And then I'm like,
yeah,
well, wait.
yeah. For like whenever I make like a Cooper Browning compilation, which are some of my like most popular videos, I think I always tend to just use like remixes. It always like I try to do a variety of Mario games and Nintendo games. It always just ends up being Mario Kart remixes because there's so much Mario Kart remixes out there of like all the different songs, but like they just
But
fit so nicely.
yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Like one, they're made for races in the first place, which is really cool.
Yeah,
And then it's kind of like the Smash effect. You got so many different like franchises all in one game, and it's pulling from all their music. It's gonna have a huge music library.
yeah. There's just a lot to pull from. Um, so what are your upcoming like mods that you want to try? Anything, any ideas that you want to go try out, I guess, on your stream in the near future?
I'm actually playing through a Tears of the Kingdom abilities mods and Odyssey right now, which has been pretty cool. Odyssey, honestly, a lot of the abilities are not the most useful in Odyssey, which kind of makes sense, different games and all, you know.
How
But it's
does
been
that
really
work?
interesting.
Yeah.
You what?
How does that work? Tears of the Kingdom.
So basically, you have Guardian abilities in that mod, and you have your like rune abilities as well. And your runes are on the R button, your guardian abilities are on the L button. And if you hold one and use the D-pad to go back and forth, you can change abilities. And then if you just tap it, it uses the ability. And
Okay.
it's really cool. You can actually like ultra hand stuff in the game. Like you can't stick anything together, but like you can grab like a fork and luncheon and you can move it wherever you want with ultra hand, leave
Oh.
it, and then it's just there. You can capture it and use it for whatever you want and stuff like that.
Oh, that's cool.
But
And
it's been a really fun mod. I'm like, I want to say halfway through because I'm in cloud, but I technically already finished Metro and Luncheon. I just haven't gotten to them yet.
interesting.
uh,
Wow. You did
we
early
went through the paintings and
morning
used the
metro,
abilities.
morning
Yeah,
metro and
yeah,
bruncheon. Pretty
yeah.
pretty advanced speedrunner.
Well, they're a lot easier in the mod because we have a
Yeah.
glider in the mod too, but
Oh, okay. Well, that explains it. Yeah, because Brunch, I don't even know if that's possible. Well, you might be on 1.0, so it would be possible on
yeah, the mod's
on
on
1.0. Okay,
1.0.
okay. So that
Pretty
makes
much any
sense.
mod worth playing is on 1.0.
Yeah, that's true. It would be like there's definitely been some people like asking for like Kaizo mode and like 1.3 and stuff like that. I mean, I don't really mind. It doesn't really like it's
Yep,
not like it drastically affects like the speedrun or anything.
yeah, from what I understand, most of the dev tools are just easier to use on 1.0, and
Yeah.
like I think whenever they did the Luigi's Balloon World update and a few of the other updates, it just made the code harder to work with. I'm not too sure
Yeah.
myself because I just play mods. I don't make them, but
Yeah.
that's my understanding.
I mean, we'll have to ask the Red Slane Joy-Con about the. We'll have to have them verify if that statement is true, and if not, we'll get the whole
They will be
community
on next week. You'd be
run
like,
after you.
Sudai claimed this. Set the
Yeah.
record straight.
You got it wrong, everyone in the community will run after you with a bunch of pitchforks and stuff, and it will be
That
the
could be
end of
fun.
Sudai because he got one thing wrong.
Oh
Um,
man, if I was gonna end when I got one thing wrong, I would have been ended a million times. I get so much wrong all the time.
yeah, uh, same here. It's probably for most people, I'd imagine. Um,
Yeah, that's part of being human.
yeah, I would have been done the first day I streamed 2020. And I was just trying to watch a BTT video on the live stream, like the newest one, and it was not a good stream for me. I mean, it was a
Oh
good stream for
man.
me. I got a lot of viewers, but that was the problem, is that I had a lot of viewers at that age. It's just not good.
Yeah.
Um, so obviously you also have a YouTube channel, and I know you have a lot of shorts on it. I think the first thing I actually saw of you might have been your uh, reaction to BTT video, because I remember I think I then sent you like a playlist of all the tasks, because I know you
Yep.
then reacted to the tasks. That was kind of our first interaction.
Yeah,
Um,
people still share that list of task videos around. It's a good list.
Yeah, there's dude, my like that task playlist I kind of just made like originally just for myself. Like, well, I don't know if it's that one specifically because I might have sent you one with like more specific tasks that like I thought would be better to react to. Um,
Right.
but the main like SMO task playlist I have of just like every SMO task that I've found on YouTube, which is every one of them that I assume. Um, if any viewers notice any tasks that aren't on that playlist that are on YouTube, feel free to let me know. Um, but that one, first of all, that's at like 300 videos now. There are so many tasks.
Oh wow.
But that's also like at like I think there's like 120,000 views or something on it. So people definitely use it as a resource, or is that the right word?
Yeah,
I don't
resource I would say to find the tasks.
resource. Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't know why I said resort. How do you? I don't even. Now I'm losing my language. It's like the seaside outfit, that thing.
Oh my
Um,
gosh.
I'm just losing my mind right now. But yeah, a lot of people use that as a resource, I think, which is cool. I've had a couple people before ask me like how I update it so quickly, and I just don't have a life, honestly. I just see the tasks. I get a ping in Discord, and I see the task, and I add it to the playlist before I even watch it usually. Um,
Yeah.
and then for
Yeah,
some
the
reason
hard part's getting the
yeah,
playlist set up initially. Adding the new stuff's easy. Like,
yeah, it's very easy. It's just quickly add it to a playlist. Although I do have to, well, I don't have to do this. I choose to, but I like having the playlist somewhat organized, like all the 1p any percent, 2p any percent. So at this point, since there's like 300 videos, I have to scroll so far up whenever I'm adding something on like mobile. It's like it ends up being like a 20-second thing.
yeah, I was
When it
thinking
should be
that
like
sounded
two.
painful, and then you added mobile on there, and I was just like blown away. I was like, I would not do that on mobile.
Yeah. Well, a lot of time I'm just don't have access to my computer and I just don't want to forget, so I just do that.
No, I get
But
it.
yeah, tasks have been pretty good recently too. There've been a decent amount of them coming out the last couple months. Most of them are like pretty minor, but there's like sub 15 wooded KFR, which blew my mind. Um,
Yeah. Yeah, I feel like
yeah,
in the
have you?
past year or so, we've had
Yeah,
an uptick of we've had an uptick in tassers showing up. Like I know Placid
yeah,
started not like super recently, but fairly recently, and
yeah.
there's a few other
Placid's
new names
insane.
too. Placid's
This
been
is a
cranking them out.
Yeah, this is an interesting story. Placid, I don't know why, especially since I don't have him lined up for the season 1 of this podcast. But first, the idea for this podcast came to me when I was watching a Placid stream, because I was just like, man, it would be fun to just talk to like these people that just do like tasks or like speedrunning stuff. Like, I just wanted to get a different variety of people every season. Like, obviously this season I don't have like all the biggest names and stuff, but I feel like I have a pretty good variety of different types of people, and that's kind of what I'm going for. Like, I want to get like like a tasser of some sorts eventually, just because I feel like they have such a different mindset when it comes to everything. Like, if you go in the task server and you try to read what they're saying and you don't know anything about tasking, like it's a completely different language. Like,
Yeah.
just don't understand anything they're saying sometimes. And I feel like I
But
have pretty good game knowledge. Sometimes they just like are like saying stuff I never even thought of.
if you
It's
want someone
insane.
to really do that to you, you should look into getting like a prolific modder on here, like Crafty Amethyst or just Cant or someone
Yeah,
or
yeah,
ZPL or
that'd be cool.
something. I feel like that'd be a cool
Yeah,
addition.
yeah, they're pretty crazy. Um, but yeah, tasks have been doing pretty good the last couple months because we had a pretty long drought, I feel like, for a while. But I don't know. Who knows when we'll get any percent tasks. It's always funny to me when people come into my chat and like when I'm doing something like so random like Kaizo mode darker side speedruns, and they're like, what do you think tasks will be of this speedrun? As if someone's gonna actually ever task that when we don't have any percent yet. It's
Imagine
like,
tasking. Well, I was gonna say imagine tasking the Sting B section, but I guess that's not in any percent either. So
yeah, thank God. That would. I don't even know if that would be possible. Probably not, because I think it's RNG. So
yeah, they start in spawn positions, but their movement after is RNG, and they're definitely gonna be
yeah,
moving. There's not enough
yeah,
camera glitch or tricks you can do to stop that.
yeah. I kind of doubt they'd be able to task that because they can't even task like Seaside KFR or Lost KFR because of the movement of the leaves on the tree, which is like just
Yeah.
such a
Did,
hassle. That's
did they
yeah.
ever figure out the loading RNG issue for tasks, or no? Is that another one they got to
Loading
deal with?
RNG.
Yeah,
Loading
there's
RNG
slight
is.
RNG on every load in Odyssey.
Oh, really? I think they just. I think right now they just splice loads, like just the best loads people have gotten. I believe that's what they're gonna do. But yeah, if they figure out the loading RNG, I imagine they would probably add that in because I guess it doesn't matter on the system. Like some people's systems just have faster loads. I like to believe
Yeah.
mine has slower loads because I just never have fast loads. And
I I may
yeah,
have got an OLED hoping for slightly faster loads.
you got a whole OLED just for the loads.
No, I was
Oh,
getting an OLED
okay.
anyway, and I was just like, well,
Okay.
I
That
still play
yeah.
on physical, so if I was looking for faster loads, I'd just get digital.
Okay. I was about to say if you that is quite a commitment if you were just doing it for the loads.
Save that
Especially
like 200
yeah.
milliseconds.
Yeah, you gotta save those frames, honestly. Um yeah, I got digital when did I get digital? I think it was Christmas 2022. Um because before that I had physical, and honestly like I don't know, digital might not really be worth it. Although to be fair, without it, my current PB wouldn't be sub hour. I wouldn't say without it I wouldn't have sub hour because I would assume that I would definitely have gotten it by now. But
Yeah,
yeah, it's for like 11 seconds, so for any percent at
yeah.
least. So
It,
unless your main category is like darker all moons, probably not
that one
actually
could
worth
really
the
use it.
investment. Um,
Now, I like to joke around and say I'm gonna wait until I get like 10 seconds away from sub hour and then buy digital, so I can just buy sub hour. But
yeah, unfortunately, tying your PB is not that easy.
that's why it's just a joke.
Yeah, yeah. That would, I mean, that would be nice if tying your PB was that easy, but also wouldn't be because I would hate to consistently tie my PB. So
Yeah, so
sometimes you have to
actually that
wait.
reminds me an interesting question someone had for me recently was if I could learn like if I could choose any game and just know the speed run. Like I would have to do a little bit of practice to put it into effect, but I would just know the speed run, what would I pick? And I think my choice would literally be nothing because my favorite part of speedruns is that learning process, learning the game, figuring things out
That's
about it,
true, yeah.
and developing in that way.
Yeah, honestly, like I I don't know. That's kind of the same way for me. Like I think when I'm like at home, I have access to my Switch and stuff. I'd much rather just do runs and stuff and like know what I'm doing. But whenever I'm at like school or work, and this is why Kaizo Darker, like why I even bothered routing it, because I had so much like work shifts and so much school. My work is a very easy job. You just kind of sit there, welcome people when they come in. Uh, like whenever customers come in, you do work, but you don't really do anything when no one's there, which is a lot of the time. So a lot of the time I was just like routing Kaizo Darker. I probably spent like 30 minutes total in between work and school just doing that because I had nothing else to do, and it was fun like it because obviously Kaizo mode like it doesn't drastically change the game in most places, but just the moons being in slightly different locations really affects the route. And I was very surprised that very little, apart from like the kingdom order, very little of the darker side route is the same like moon order. It's like completely different route because of how much
That's really
everything's
cool.
changed. Yeah, it's a very cool speed run. It's very fun to route. I feel like I enjoy routing a lot. Uh, when I have like nothing else to do at least. I know I routed double and 8% as well, uh, which is a
Yeah,
new CE that was added to the board, and then
I saw
Logis
that.
beat
It's pretty
me.
exciting.
Yeah, I put so much like I begged them for so long to add it as a CE, and they were like, "You're gonna run it," and they were like, "Okay, well, are people gonna run it?" And I was like, "Yeah, yeah, I'll run it," and I have not ran it since it was added.
Other people have ran it though. That's okay.
Yeah, I'll run it eventually. I mean, it's okay.
No,
Um, and then
I
yeah.
I get it though. Routing looks really fun. I've been in a few communities when the game first dropped now. Like I was in Wonder when it first dropped, obviously, and I'm a verifier for Princess Peach's Showtime. So I got to watch that whole community develop too. And watching people route looks really interesting. I'm generally pretty bad at it myself, so I don't really help too much. But I definitely get why you enjoy it. It looks so
Yeah.
fun. And I actually think Echoes of Wisdom is coming out in a few hours, and I think that game is going to be kind of
Oh
wild to
wow,
route.
that's crazy. I
Because
did
think
not
about like,
realize that it was so
yeah,
soon.
just a few
Sorry.
hours. That's my plan for stream tonight. So
Yeah.
if you see this in the future, come back to the past and watch stream tonight. Um, no, anyway, but that game looks like it's going to be wild to route just because with echoes you're going to have so many options. It's going to be like what you beeline for as your echo options are going to kind of determine how your route goes and stuff like that. So
Yeah.
I'm really curious to watch the development of that routing.
Yeah, that sounds interesting. I didn't. That's crazy that Echoes of Wisdom's already come out. It just doesn't. I don't feel like I have not had that energy today that like a new Zelda game is coming out tomorrow. Like, which I mean, I'm
Yeah,
not a
me.
Zelda fan, but like I feel like I would still like see stuff
So,
that I feel like I haven't seen in the
yeah,
game.
like I'm a Mario player mostly, but I get it. There's that energy around a Zelda game. Like you know it's going to be good, even if it's not like your number one preferred genre or game kind of thing. It's
Yeah,
still going to be good.
yeah. I mean, I would just assume it would have a lot more, yeah, a lot more talk about it online. Because I mean, I'm probably not going to get it. I don't even have Breath of the Wild or anything. I need to play those eventually, like Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom.
Very
Um,
fun games.
because yeah, everyone obviously really likes those games for the most part. But I don't know. I just feel like whenever I try literally any other game, most of the time I just get pulled back to Odyssey because like I don't know. When you're good at a game, it's so hard to just play another game because getting good at a game for me at least takes a very long time.
Oh, it
Um,
definitely does. I
yeah,
still like I'm a little over 2 years deep into the Odyssey community, and I still feel like a complete scrub compared to everybody. You know,
yeah,
like
it takes a lot of time. Yeah. Um, and it's weird too because like everyone like everyone I mean I've told very few IRL people that I play Odyssey, but the ones that do know like have like asked me like how like the hell I've been doing this for 6 years, and I'm just like I don't know, man. Like it's you could still improve even though it's like literally a kids game that came out in 2017. Like I don't know, there's
yeah, that's
so
the
much
great thing
room.
about Odyssey.
Yeah,
It like everything feels so smooth, but also like there's always room for improvement. Like even Tyrone, you'll see him come up with new ideas for lines or movement inputs and stuff like that.
yeah.
Like and it's just crazy. There's still so much room to grow in this game.
Yeah, did you see the new strat in Wooded? I think on like the ramp they do like a
Oh, the
triple.
triple jump on the
Yeah,
after the nut around the corner, or not around the
yeah,
corner, but you know
like
which one I
dead
mean.
end. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Apparently saves point 0.5, which kind of blew my mind because I remember I think it was like 3 years ago. I was talking to like XCXbox Jaja, which I don't know if you know him.
I know the
Um,
name. I don't know him
okay,
as a
yeah.
person though.
Yeah, I didn't know him that well, but he actually is the one that told me that I should grind for Cloud Beast BTT, which I probably shouldn't have looking back on it. Um, we won't get into that. But yeah, I remember he was looking into that strat like a few years ago and just couldn't figure out a way to make it fast. But it's pretty cool to see. And I apparently, according to Tyrone on Twitter, because I brought up that point in his replies, and I think he said Acrid actually thought of the strat in 2017, which is a very long time
Yeah,
ago. So it's really cool to see like strats from literally almost 7 years ago, like being implemented and found in a way to save like very little time. Uh,
that's
yeah,
speedrunning for you. We're always gonna slowly chip away at stuff
yeah,
like there. I don't think there's a single game that's fully solved yet. Like we still have room in everything, you know.
yeah. It's crazy. It feels like we're like close to like it always feels like where is like there any more time save in Odyssey? Like obviously we know of some stuff like we for BTT exclusive stuff, but like a lot of that just doesn't seem viable. Although I'm sure almost all of it will probably someday be added into runs, which is kind of crazy to think about.
It
Um,
is.
like I like what if people are doing like FMC in runs in like 2034, dude? Oh my gosh, I hope I'm not there for that. Um,
You know, I hope I am. If the game has that kind of longevity, that just means we got something special.
yeah, I mean, I think it definitely will though, because like it's so weird, but like 64 Sunshine, like they're still finding strats like every now and then.
Hmm.
Obviously it's like a huge event whenever something is found in those games, but like it still happens, I feel like every couple of years.
Yeah, I
I
mean,
don't
the
know,
big
it's
example
crazy.
recently is obviously carpetless, and
Yeah,
the big thing to me about that is that saved over a minute in a run. They're not finding like
yeah,
half a
it's
second
crazy.
time saves, 2 second time saves. They found over a minute time save in
Yeah,
this game that's like what 30 years old.
yeah, it's crazy that's still even possible, especially since it's like literally the most popular speed game. You would think that of any speed game it would be the hardest to have that sort of longevity for with strats being found and stuff. But no, that's just the move set in these Mario games just allow for such like crazy things to happen, and then you could just find new stuff like after 30 years of just going at it for countless hours. It's just crazy.
Yeah, honestly, I think that's why like I really enjoy Mario platformers because
Yeah,
a lot of games when you're playing it, it kind of feels like you're locked into like certain things for a while. It's almost like it's almost like playing an instrument where like you're locked into the notes you have and you want to stick to the music. Compared to like Odyssey or 64, it's more like playing jazz as you're playing. You can kind of freeform things and yeah, there's optimal movement and stuff like that, but everything just flows together so well that you can kind of do whatever you want and it still looks and feels good, you know?
yeah, it's pretty cool. um all right, I guess we can move on to fan questions now, because we do have a
Nah,
lot of
forget
them.
that. No, I'm joking.
Forget the fans. um
Um,
Yeah, we are at the 45-minute point, and you got like I told you before the episode, but you got a lot of fan questions. I think the command on the stream definitely helped you there.
yeah,
More people should
I
do that.
I don't know. I figured my community would be interested in it, and
Yeah,
they were apparently.
yeah, no, that's awesome because it's nice to have other people make questions so I don't have to. Um, the less work for me,
Crowdsourcing.
the better. So the first question here is from Checker Champ, and he wants to know how do you keep such a calm headspace during runs most of the time?
I think that's actually been like a lifelong work for me. Because I'm not like that just in runs. I try to keep a calm mind throughout all of life for the most part, and it's honestly an active effort. The more I do it, the older I get, the longer it's been happening. the less effort I have to put into staying calm and chill. But just remembering things aren't that serious. In the end, the universe is going to either implode, evaporate, or rip itself apart or something. None of this will matter. Just have fun along the way. And if you're not having fun with something, what's the point?
Yeah, it's bullshit.
So anytime I find myself getting upset with something, I just take a break, take a breather, stop doing it for a second, and that usually solves it for me. But I will say that came with a lot of practice throughout my life doing that. Like I said, I haven't always been as good at it as I am nowadays.
Or, yeah, I feel like for me, it's pretty similar in a way, even though obviously I'm a lot younger. Because I feel like just recently I kind of started to care less about runs. Because before, like, especially when I was doing runs, I mean, it's never been too severe for me. Because for any percent, even though I have like sub hour, because of the fact I've been playing this game for so long, until like 100, I didn't really need to like grind anything. Really, I just kind of, took a 4 month break from any percent, did runs for a weekend, got a 1 minute PB, and was like, okay, cool. Because of like Cooper free running and like stuff like that, just helps your movement. And when you are this addicted to the game, it just kind of comes naturally. But
Yeah.
once I got to like 100 and stuff, I did start seeing very very slower improvement in terms of PB because you actually have to like grind. Um, and I definitely did not have the best mindset because some of the ways you can kill your runs in this game are just brutal. As you
Yeah.
get better and better. Like I had one death to Mecha Brutal, and this was probably a couple of years ago because I remember I think I DM'd Tyrone about it, and I was like pissed. Which probably I don't know why I did that, but I was more so asking for tips and stuff. I think. But yeah, it's like some of the ways you can choke runs. Like I'm still finding new ways to kill runs sometimes.
I definitely know how that goes.
Yeah, yeah. It's crazy how you can play a game for 6 years and still be finding new, completely insane ways to kill runs that you would just never even see coming at all. Um,
Pro tip, it helps take the pain off of those a little bit. Clip it, throw it on YouTube, get some free views.
Yeah, I need to do shorts. Like shorts get so many views. Obviously, they're not like long lasting. I'm pretty sure it's a pretty instant like effect with shorts. As far as I'm
It
aware.
depends on the short. Sometimes they'll
Yeah.
they'll stick in the algorithm for like a day. Sometimes they'll stick in for like a week, and it's a slower burn. But it's usually either one massive spike or like one kind of medium spike, and then it just ends.
Yeah, but I mean, I definitely think it probably does help a lot. I mean, that's pretty much been most of your only YouTube content, I believe, over.
I have some other content, mostly just like my speedrun uploads and then a
Oh,
few
okay,
edited
yeah.
videos. But it's yeah, it's mostly YouTube Shorts. I've got someone edit. I've got Kraslu editing for me right now a few videos, and I'm trying to build a backlog of like 5 to 10 videos so I can have something all uploaded and scheduled at once while I'm working on other stuff. But switching over from shorts to new like full edited videos is something I'm just starting to really look into seriously.
Yeah, I need to. I mean, I don't know. I've never really. Most of my videos are not even like that edited. I don't even have an editor, which is crazy. Most people when they're watching like my like KFR compilations, like I've had a couple people ask me like what editor I use, and I'm just like, honestly, I just record the video on OBS, cut out the parts on YouTube editor, and then re-record it with music, and then I just upload it. That's literally all I do. It's really not that hard. It takes like 3 to 4 hours of work total. Like,
Nice. Hey,
um,
you've got a pretty good product considering you're using YouTube editor of all things.
yeah, no one needs to know. We can keep that secret for anyone watching 50 minutes into the episode. Don't go around telling people that. Um, but I don't know. I feel like my computer is also just not like I tried using another editor at one point when I was making like I was trying to make a video essay that ultimately just didn't pan out.
Hmm.
Um, and it just went so slowly like the editor because I didn't want to pay for an editor. Although eventually I do want to probably buy like a good editor and just kind of like try to make video like what you're saying, like more edited stream highlight videos, because I feel like those would be pretty good. Especially for like Kaizo mode. Like I really feel like I should have done that for
Yeah.
my casual playthrough or something. That would have been sick. Um, but I do have them all like saved on Twitch, so if I ever decide to do that, I can.
Okay.
Uh, but yeah. Anyway, that's how I keep a calm headspace during runs, Checker Champ, in case you were wondering. Um, Next question is from Swiss, and Swiss wants to know what the first game you speedran was.
Um. Oh man, what was the first game I ever rented from Blockbuster? Um. No, if we're talking actual dedicated, like sit down, practice, learn the route and everything, it was Mario Odyssey. I spent probably like 20 hours just studying the Tom Shi videos. Actually, probably more than that. Um, but yeah, I spent like a while studying that, and then I just started doing runs. And I feel like I've done a lot of runs since then. But yeah, Odyssey was my first speedrun game. It's probably gonna be my main speedrun game for a long time, unless the new 3D Mario that comes with Switch 2 is
Yeah,
just as buttery smooth and has just as fun movement, which
yeah, dude.
I think it will, but we'll see.
I've been thinking about the like what will be the last Speed Talk episode before the next 3D Mario footage is shown in a Switch 2 trailer or something. Like I'm kind of curious like when the episodes are going to switch from mentioning when like the next 3D Mario to having an episode that was supposed to be about something else that we just end up talking about the new footage for the whole episode. I hope it's not the Red Slate Joy-Con one because it could be, because that's probably not going to be for like a month or at least a few weeks from now. So I hope it doesn't like get like that doesn't happen like the day before that episode and we just don't talk about Kaizo at all.
It looks like it might line up like that because we're
It could,
probably
yeah.
getting Switch 2 announcements soon, and I'm willing to bet they're going to show at least something about the new Mario game when they do.
Yeah, I'm thinking like around October like 20th or something like that. Like right after Jamboree comes out before Mario and Luigi. I feel like feels like a good quiet time for them to just drop that.
Yeah.
Um some people are saying they're going to wait till like 2025, but like there was already like leaks and stuff of it. Like I don't think I think they're ready to show footage, and also I think that it would just kind of slowly make it less and less like hype if they just wait half a
Yeah.
year. So
Yeah, I think you're right. And you can tell they've definitely been pushing out their like final games of the game catalog
oh
for Switch
yeah,
1 too. So it's if it's not this month, it's very soon.
yeah. Which I will say they have a pretty damn good catalog for the last year of Switch. Like this is a
I've
lot
spent
better than what the Wii U had.
Yeah, I've spent more money on games from Nintendo in the past year than I did over like the 4 years before it. Like it's kind of crazy.
Yeah, yeah. They got some pretty good titles. It's just crazy to me. Like whenever I think about the Switch 2, like dude, I want that just to come soon, just so that I can have something interesting going on because it's just like school work. It's like give me something to look forward to, Nintendo, please. I need something to
Yeah,
obsess over.
yeah, I
That's
feel
yeah,
that. I know when I was still working at hotels, like the Switch had come out, and I was so excited because kind of like your job, I didn't really have much to do. I had maybe like an hour of like paperwork and like computer work to do every night,
yeah,
and the rest was just me sitting there. And if someone came in or needed something in their room, but I was working from 11 p.m. to 7 a.m., so who's gonna come bother me, you know?
yeah.
So I just played my Switch all the time. I was so excited to have it.
Oh,
Like,
that's so cool. Yeah. I don't
yeah.
bring. They do watch me. Like they have security cameras and stuff, so they're always watching me. So I have not dared bring my Switch, although I've definitely considered it a few times.
Yeah,
Um,
that's fair. I wouldn't risk it if it's
yeah,
something they wouldn't be happy with, I wouldn't risk it. But so long
yeah.
as like I was able to put it down and get to guess right away, my bosses didn't really care what I was doing.
Yeah, I don't know if they would care. I don't know if I would take that risk. I feel like at that point it might just look like I'm not putting in like any effort at all if I just start speedrunning Odyssey. And also
Yeah.
the door is like it's on the boardwalk, so the door is like open and you can see like the desk kind of from like if you're walking outside the store. And I don't want to see people. I don't want people to see me like shake my controller doing up those and stuff. Like,
People are just like, what's he doing?
yeah, would not be would not be a pleasant conversation to try to explain my way out of that one.
Yeah, at least with routing, it kind of looks like you're doing like you could be doing homework or writing a paper or an email or something like that, you know?
Yeah, routing. I'm not too worried about because it's just like it just looks like I'm doing homework or stuff, working on my college
Exactly.
essays, something like that. So it works out in that way. Anyway, I know we're kind of stretching these fan questions out, but honestly, we have more
They'll
runtime.
enjoy
Yeah,
it.
we need it. They're good conversation topics. Um, Next question from Clariset, who asked, Sudai, share one of your peak Smash era stories.
Oh gosh. So I actually have a money match win against a pretty well-known Smash player at this point. I'm not trying to brag because it was his very first tournament, but I love the story because okay, I'm gonna say it. The name he was DeBuzz. I don't know if you follow Smash very
Okay,
much to know who he is, but
I
he's
don't
pretty well
know.
known in the Smash scene. And he was gonna go to his first tournament in I think it was San Antonio, and I was driving like 10 to 12 hours to go to this tournament already this weekend.
Damn,
And as I mentioned, I'm kind of good at the game, or
I
well,
would
I was back
imagine
then.
if you're driving 10 hours to go to a tournament. Yeah,
Yeah, I did that a lot. It was so fun. It
yeah,
was
that
anyway.
sounds like a blast. Yeah.
It really was sleeping on like the ground of a barn and stuff like that.
You
Sometimes,
just
like
made it sound like a complete not fun.
it was actually way more fun than it sounds. Honestly, it
Yeah.
was like a barn with like 5 to 10 Smash setups in it, and yeah.
Oh,
Anyway,
that's sick.
so this story about the Buzz, he started smack talking like crazy on the tournament thread on Smash boards. And he was like, I'll money match anybody, blah, blah, blah. And I'm going to come and win. And I was like, this is this guy's first tournament. He's full of hot air, blah, blah, blah. I like blah, 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 by the way.
Yeah.
Excuse me. Um, and so I was like, put your money where your mouth is. Let's do a $20 money match. And he was like, how about $100? And I was like, all right, we'll do a $100 best of five. And I got there and I kind of felt bad because the first game it was a 2 stock out of 3 stocks. Like I kind of beat him bad, so I switched characters to one of my like off characters that I hadn't played much because I was like, this guy's putting $100 up. I don't want to just literally mop the floor with him, even though he was
Oh
like talking all
no.
kinds of smack on the forums. And so he beats one of my side characters, and then I was like, you know what? This will be funny. I never play Meta Knight, and for those that don't know, in Brawl, Meta Knight was literally busted. His worst matchup was a 50-50 against himself. His second worst was like a 60-40 against anybody else, but 60-40 in his favor still. That's how strong Meta Knight was. So I was like, oh, you know what? I don't play it. I'll probably be able to beat him with just Meta Knight because he's not good. And I did, and then I switched back to just another random character because I was like that was kind of cheap. So he got a free win off of I think it was my Lucario. Anyway, we get down to the last game of the set because I had thrown 2 games and won 2 games, and he counterpicks me to Jungle Japes, which was generally a banned stage, but it was legal at this tournament. And it was generally banned for reasons that I loved because my character was ultra campy, and this is like a really wide stage with like platforms off to the side where like it's just really easy to camp. And so as soon as he calls out the stage, I just smile and I pick Rob, my main character, and he's like, "Oh crud, did I mess up?" And he picked Rob too, which he had not played the entire set. And then I 3 stocked him without taking any damage, and I was really proud of it. And
Nice.
like even against a noob, that's really hard to do. But that's
Yeah.
my Debub's. I can't say his name. That's my Debuzz story where I won $100 off of him at his very first tournament.
Yeah, that's sick. Even though you said you won before you even jumped into like the story, I still, for whatever reason, because of the way that it seemed to be going when you're like, and it was for $100, and then I decided to switch to my off character after I beat him. I thought that he was just gonna completely destroy you, and it's gonna be like weird turn of events, even though
truth,
like you said you won. I just
truth be
forgot.
told,
Yeah.
he had a chance to win there. I think if he stuck to his main character
Yeah.
instead of switching to Rob at the end, because like at the time I was the only person that was playing Rob at a high level and traveling around the country to play tournaments. Um, but I think if he had stuck to his main character, he would have done well. But I just knew that character in and out. Like Like the reason he never hit me is because I knew the timings and all the attacks so well. I power shielded almost everything he shot at me and stuff like that. And truth be told, he had a better chance with his main character, and he was actually better than I thought he was. Like I really thought the two games that I threw that he won, I thought I was going to be able to win them just goofing around because new person, really cocky. He seemed to do bad in the first game, but
Yeah.
he was learning fast. I was actually a little scared until he counterpicked me to my favorite stage and tried to ditto me with my character.
Yeah. That that would have been crazy. How big are those tournaments? When you went at
um,
least?
Back then, I think that tournament was a little over. It was either a little over or a little under 100 entrants.
That's
So not
insane.
massive, but this was considered a regional back then. So it was one of the bigger tournaments at the time. Like my locals would have anywhere from 20 to like 30 people at them. And that's like weekly tournaments. And then our like monthly and like every 2 or 3 month tournaments would usually hit like 50 to 60 people.
Yeah, dude, wouldn't it be cool if Odyssey was as popular as Smash? And they had tournaments just everywhere all the time. That would be sick.
I'm a believer in speedrunning getting as big as the fighting game community is now. I think in general the fighting game community will probably stay bigger just because it's
Yeah,
an older community, it's established already and all that. But I feel like even before I joined the speedrunning scene, I felt like the community was growing in general. And with people like Summoning Salt, other historians, there's a
yeah,
wealth of new guides. There's every game that comes out now, there's a Discord server for the speedrun before it even comes out, Like
yeah. I
I
already
think
made a 3D Mario next 3D Mario speedrunning server. I want to be the owner of
yeah.
that. I wonder how many
Yeah,
other people have done that too.
you see, the trick is you got to get the speedrun.com leaderboard claim, and if you do that, you link your
Oh
Discord, and then your
yeah,
Discord's the main one. That's the
yeah,
real key right there. But yeah, I feel like it's still growing, and like with Grand Pooh Bear doing things like the Barcadias, or I forget what they're called exactly, but he's doing like
speedrunning. I think the speedrunning sessions or something. Speedrun
yeah, that's
sessions
what
or
it
something
is.
like that.
Speedrun sessions, yeah. But with stuff like that cropping up, I think there's a lot of room for growth and like speedrunning, ROM hacks, challenge mods, stuff like that.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. I think that similar to like how like speedrunning getting as big as fighter games, I could also see like because obviously colleges all have like esports and stuff. Like I could definitely see like in like 30 years or something like esports like including speedrunning and stuff, which would be really
Yeah.
cool to see at like colleges and stuff. Uh, I'll also be very jealous if that happens because obviously I wouldn't have had that
So,
when I go to
so now
college.
you know how
So
I feel. I
yeah,
graduated college and they announced the first esports sponsorship like 2 weeks later.
that's crazy. Yeah, especially since if you were good at Smash at the time, that probably is a viable, probably what would have been a viable esports game.
Yeah, there.
So yeah,
I don't know how many there are now, but for a while there were a good few community or a good few colleges that had like Smash Brother players on their esports rosters.
yeah, that'd be cool. I wish there was a spot for Mario Odyssey players on these rosters. They
I
have
think
no
you're right. I
idea.
think one day it will join those
Yeah,
rosters because I kind of view speedrunning as like the track and field of esports. It's
yeah,
mostly you against yourself on a pace, but like it's still a type of
yeah.
esport.
But I can definitely also get like pretty competitive, like we see with pace and stuff with the LTAs. Like it gets
Oh yeah.
like obviously it's all like pretty friendly competition because most of the time whenever speedrunners are like in person conventions, everyone's pretty wholesome and stuff, which is awesome.
Oh my gosh,
Um,
ignore those smileys falling. Somebody's in my Twitch chat.
yeah, I was like, did I say something like worth celebrating? Let's go. Um, but yeah, it's pretty cool to see. Obviously pace and everything. I don't know. Are you trying to go to pace next summer or something
I would
like
like
that?
to,
I don't know.
yeah.
Yeah.
If not Pace, some other speedrun event during the summer because I've been wanting to travel to one for a while. It's
Yeah.
just like the money and time hasn't lined up right, but I think this year I should be able to make something. I got to find something that
Yeah.
meets the time, but I got the rest covered.
Yeah. Summer pace is always a blast. And fall paces too. It's just a lot smaller, obviously. But
Yeah.
yeah. Summer pace this year was just awesome, man. Great experience. I'm actually writing my college essay about summer pace. I've got to be the first
Nice.
person. The end of my first paragraph is like me comparing, I think I said like I'm not just going on any vacation. I'm not going to Disney or Japan or something like that. I'm going to the most exciting place of all, Laurel, Maryland. It's like it's honestly a pretty good intro, but it's so funny for anyone that went to Pace and knows how like bad of a town Laurel, Maryland is, like just in terms of like its layout. I guess I don't really know.
I
But
gotcha.
yeah,
Yeah, that's probably gonna make a good college essay because they like a lot of people think they wouldn't want stuff related to gaming and stuff, but all they
yeah,
really look for is passion. They look to see that you care about something and that you can articulate that care, basically.
yeah. No, I think I'll do pretty good, and it's probably honestly gonna be like one of the main things on my applications because I'm not involved in a lot else. Anyway, I think we should. We're probably gonna start going through the questions a little bit faster now.
Okay.
But the next one
Uh,
is from Noah SMO, and this is an important question. He wants to know who is your favorite SMO runner with the name Noah. And I'll give you your options. You have Noah SMO, you have Lucidity, you have Autumn. You probably have a few other people, but I don't remember.
Can I rank them all as a tie? No, that's cheating. That's the PR answer.
Yeah.
Um, no, of those three, I've never really talked to Lucidity. Autumn seems pretty chill, but we haven't talked a whole lot either. But Noah, I've talked to a good bit, so I'm gonna have to pick Noah just because familiarity with him.
Yeah, that's fair. Um, I won't
You're
give my
welcome, Noah.
ranking since he didn't ask me anything.
Lucky. No.
Although Autumn is probably the top because I'm closest friends with him, and then probably Lucid because I met him, and then Noah. So there's my ranking that I
There's
said
your
I
ranking
wasn't
that
gonna
you're not
give.
gonna give.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm not gonna give my ranking though. Yeah. Okay, the next we have two more people, but they both asked multiple questions. So we'll
Oh
start with
gosh.
Krazalu, who obviously you've mentioned several times in this podcast. He has two questions. The first one is what was the hardest point of your streaming and or speedrunning career that you'd be willing to publicly share?
Definitely my internet issues. They still haunt me to this day to some degree, which thankfully they laid fiber in my neighborhood recently. I should be able to get that soon,
Ooh,
so
that's
that
good.
may be going away. Um, but yeah, honestly, it's been my internet issues. I live in southern Louisiana, so our infrastructure isn't always the best.
Yeah.
And and to this day, there's still spouts where like I just won't be able to stream for a week because my internet's cutting in and out too much. And that's as far as streaming, that's a real mood killer. It kind of impacts the momentum. But
Yeah,
even
it
with
does.
speedrunning, since I'm like streaming my speedrunning and wanting to do it for an audience, that impacts my desire to speedrun too. When that's happening, it's just like
Yeah,
motivation's gone.
it's just so over because it's like that just affects the stream and the runs. It's not it's
Exactly.
not fun. Um, yeah, for me, my internet's not too bad, but for me, my computer is not the most powerful because it's just a laptop. So that's
Yeah.
definitely like the bit rate's never like that good, and even well, I don't know like if my mic is an issue because I have a blue or not a blue Yeti, I have a Snowball, um, which is like an okay mic. I think my voice just sucks honestly, so I think that's just a me issue. Um,
Oh, you sound good to me.
yeah. And
Like,
then the other main issue for me would probably just be like background noise because my family's always. I'm also in the basement, so that doesn't help. Because if someone moves like a chair or like anything upstairs, it makes the most like I. It's the worst sound ever. It's just
it
not
might as well be
fun.
dropping bowling
Yeah,
balls.
it's
Yeah.
not a fun sound. It sounds like they're actually gonna like break the entire ceiling. Like it's like stop, please.
Oh
Um,
man, yeah, I'm thankful I don't have too many
yeah.
background noise issues. My wife, that as said before, is very supportive of all this. So she kind of like she's not making a lot of noise around the house in general anyway, but she tries extra
Yeah,
hard to stay quiet, make sure the kitties are all taken care of, so they're not screaming at stream and stuff like that.
yeah. I imagine it will definitely be easier once I move out of the six-person house into into a college dorm and then eventually onto my own house for at least a few years, probably,
Yeah.
before it starts getting infested with more people. Um, these damn people, dude, so loud. Anyway, next question from Krasalu is for Mr. Whiskers specifically. He wants to know what's the hardest part of living at Sudai's desk, and he said that you would answer this question.
Yeah. This is Mr. Whiskers. He's my childhood fox. He sits like right under my TV where I do all my speed runs, but he's a small, slightly known joke on stream. Some people remember him, some people don't, but he thinks the hardest part is not being able to move on his own and having to have other people move him around. He can't
Yeah,
speedrun anything. He
that would
sees me
be
speedrun.
tough. Yeah, that would be a tough situation.
Unless there's a Toy Story situation going on here, but he hasn't left yet,
Yeah,
so
maybe whenever you leave the room, he just starts going on a world trip across countries and stuff. It's
maybe
actually
he's
like a famous
Tyrone.
speedrunner.
Maybe he
Yeah, maybe.
no.
It's like Italy's different time zone over there. When Tyrone sleep, maybe Tyrone just doesn't sleep, and when you're sleeping, it just comes over here and plays. I don't know. That's a good conspiracy theory. We'll have to ask Tyrone about that one eventually. Anyway,
I'm on board with it.
Four more quick questions from Zach WB. Must be a fake Zach.
There's a lot of Zachs in the Odyssey community.
There are a lot of Zachs, which is weird because I feel like I do know like two Zachs in real life throughout the span of my life. But the Odyssey community definitely has a lot more, and I think the best part is that I only know of one that spells it with an H, so that's the most important part because Zach the Box is a K, Zypher is a K, I'm a K. There is Wacky Dude is an H, but he spells it XACH, which is just the weirdest shit ever. Like,
that's special.
Yeah, this Zach is just ZAC, and then the only ZACH I know is Slitzify, who I'm actually meeting with in a couple weeks because he happens to live like 15 minutes from my cousins in Massachusetts, apparently.
Oh, wow.
Which I've also met someone else that happened to live 15 minutes from my cousins in Massachusetts, and also apparently Yo-Yo Fruits also happens to live like 30 minutes from my cousins in Massachusetts. So apparently there is a very populated SMO area. Meanwhile, I'm in South Jersey. No one exists in South Jersey. I'm the only person who lives here. Closest person to me is an hour away, so
yeah, I'm the fastest in Louisiana, even though Gorgonim lives here, because he refuses to upload a real speed run to any %. One player.
Yeah. I think he almost has sub hour though, so he'll probably submit something eventually, I imagine, once he gets sub hour.
I think a while back he told me he would only submit if he got sub hour, otherwise he wanted to keep a slow run on there. Yeah. But until then, I'm saying I'm technically the fastest in Louisiana, Gorg. Come at me.
True. Anyway, I just realized I said this guy's name and I haven't even asked the question.
Oh.
Okay, so his first question is, what is your best speedrunning accomplishment in your opinion?
Probably getting top 10 in Mario Wonder any %. I think at this point I've moved down to like 16th or 17th, but being top 10 in a mainline Mario game, I feel like that's a pretty good achievement.
16th, 17th is pretty good. How many runs are there?
A
decent amount.
I feel like there's like under 300. Let me see real quick.
That's really good then. I mean, 16th, 17th out of 300 is still like pretty good, especially since like, you know, a lot of these people are probably pretty good. So.
Oh no, I was wrong. I was thinking any % and glitchless combined. It's 69 total runs on the board. Funny number.
That's still pretty good. I always hate it whenever I tell like my parents like, oh, I got a world record in a speedrun category, and then their first question is how many people have done it, and then I'm like 6. But the thing is, those 6 people could be really good. Like
yeah.
Like with Kaizo any %, when I got the record back, I was pretty happy. And I was like, how many other people on the leaderboard? I'm like, 4. She's like, oh, okay. And I'm like, yeah, but one of them's Lucid. Like, come on.
Yeah, it's like it's 4 people, but it's 4 of the best people in the world. You know, that's like. Yeah, like. It's like
Lucid, though. Come on.
It's like Usain Bolt wins a gold record in a race, and they're like, "Oh yeah, well, how many people were in that race?" You know, like
it's such an annoying question because you could be going against like 100 people that completely suck, or one person that's the best in the world. It's like you never know. Like the number doesn't really matter.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, like look at Mario 64. It's got thousands of runs, but really, there's only like 50 to 60 like actually amazing players at it, you know?
Yeah, a better question would be, what is the median any percent PB amongst all of those other runners that are on the board? That
Let
would
me
be a better
see.
question. I'm gonna start training her to say that instead.
That's a good one. But for
Yeah,
Wonder, let's see if there was 69 rank 35, I think it would be. Yeah, around rank 35 is they have a 139.28 and I'm at 17 confirmed and I have a
yeah,
131.43.
that's pretty good.
Yeah,
I
where
guess an
world
even better
record is.
question. Yeah, I guess an even better question, which I will not make you do the math for, would be like the average between all of the other runners.
Well, let me pull up a
But
spreadsheet real quick. No, I'm joking.
yeah, you don't need to do that. Although, to be fair, that would definitely get messed up by someone like Gorgonim with the 7 hour times and stuff. So that would definitely pull it down
Yeah,
a little bit, but I mean, yeah.
yeah. Or like for Wonder, like Suaki would skew the average too. He's got almost a full minute ahead of second place and stuff like that.
Yeah, Suaki is crazy, yeah.
Absolutely
Um,
wild.
anyway, next question. All the rest are from Zach WB. Like, he wants to know
Okay.
what your favorite game that you've played on stream is.
Probably Odyssey. Like,
Yeah.
I'm not the type of person that can play the same thing literally forever. That's why I take detours, try other speed games, and like plays all the games on stream, stuff like that. But Odyssey is just so fun. There's a
Yeah.
reason it's my main speed game. The flow is there, the creativity's there. You can just if you want to go from point A to point B, you just do it, kind of thing, you know.
Yeah, I definitely have to agree with Odyssey, which I'm sure everyone could probably have guessed. For me, it's kind of similar to that, honestly, with the like it's kind of similar to the you can't play like one game for a long period of time with for me with Odyssey, except it's I just can't do one category at a time because like
That's fair.
if I try to stick to any percent, like it'll be like 2 weeks before I just try to do some completely irrelevant category that no one's gonna care I got record in, but like it's like I don't know, it's just fun. It's
Let
fun
me let me
to
create the capture all frogs category real quick, kind of
yeah,
thing.
something like that, yeah. Except any category I've created is a good category.
Honestly, capture all
It's
frogs sounds
yeah,
kind of fun.
that doesn't sound too bad, I guess. Mm-hmm. It could work maybe. Um, it might be better than all metropoles.
Oh
I just
gosh.
actively I'm actively against all metropoles. It's just
I've never tried all. Oh, no, I think I tried it once and then gave up on all metro polls. But
yeah,
the runs for that actually look wild. It's really cool.
I do actually technically, well, not technically. Well, there was someone in I think it was Buster's chat the other day that said that they were making crazy claims. They're like, it doesn't say on SRC that hacking is not allowed in speedruns and stuff. And he was trying to actually argue that like modding is allowed. So if that logic is true, then I have the all Metro polls world record because on April Fools I just rehacked my Switch like the day before. I went on to practice mod, and the Tears of the Kingdom mod actually sounds useful for this. But I went on to practice mod, and I saved like locations, and then captured a pole, and then I just teleported to that location. And I did that for every pole in the kingdom, and I got like a 49-second time. And yeah, it was a fun experience. And then at one point, I think I accidentally put I don't remember what I did. At one point, I accidentally messed up the whole thing though, and I had to restart the whole process of doing that, which took like another hour and a half. It was a lot of work
Yeah,
for a silly joke, but it was fun. Um,
that's the best kind of work, though.
yeah, it was like I was making my own custom level, except doing it in the most complicated way possible. So this is an interesting experience. Anyway, next question is very different from every other question. He wants to know what your favorite ice cream flavor is.
Um, Probably chocolate chip cookie dough. I'm a big fan of
That's
chocolate
a
chip
good
cookie dough.
good answer. Yeah, I would. That's definitely up there for me too.
Yeah,
I'm not sure.
Oreos
Is
and
that?
cream is close behind, but like
Yeah,
I
that's
don't
good
know,
too.
something just about those chunks of cookie dough. They do it for me.
Yeah, those are always good. I also really like the like. There's some ice creams that like if you buy like carton or whatever it'd be called of ice cream, And it's like three different types,
Like
like
a
next to each other,
Neapolitan
kind of.
setup, yeah.
Yeah, like birthday cake or something like that, where it has like those three different things. I always like that too. That's always fun.
That's
Um,
cool.
but yeah, as an individual flavor, I'd have to probably also go with chocolate chip cookie dough or something similar to that.
It's my
Um,
favorite by a long
yeah,
shot.
yeah, it's pretty good. Um, anyway, final question here. If you could get anything early, what would it be? So, don't
If
know
I could get
exactly what
anything
that's
early,
asking for, but yeah, I guess anything like that's coming out, like if you could get it early. I think I'd go with either Switch 2 or the next 3D Mario. I guess,
that's what I was gonna
yeah,
say too. Yeah, then
I guess
the
the next 3D
Switch 2 with
Mario.
the next 3D Mario, because if I could have that early legit and not have Nintendo like take down all my content for posting about it,
Yeah, that's
one,
true.
it'd be so much fun. Two, it'd be a huge leg up in content creation.
Yeah, that's true. I got the new 3D Mario game early, and then everyone just get mad at me because I'm just so much better at everyone when it comes out for 2 days before
Uh,
Tyrone picks it up, and then he's just gonna, you know, do his thing. But
I don't know.
yeah,
Something tells me Tyrone's gonna stick with Odyssey for a while. Like he's
yeah,
probably gonna do
I
some runs
agree.
in the new 3D Mario, but he's put so much time into Odyssey. Like
I think
unless,
unless it's like Odyssey 2, I would agree. I think Tyrone's
yeah,
probably gonna stick to Odyssey.
like if it's Odyssey 2 or he just plays it and just something special clicks with him, kind of thing.
Yeah, because I mean, he's just like when you're the best at something, it's like I said earlier, it's hard for me to play any other game because I'm good at Odyssey. So for top runners of Odyssey, like I can definitely see some of them not switching over to the new 3D Mario, and it's gonna be an interesting time, especially if I end up clicking with the next 3D Mario and deciding to join that community, which I'm not sure if it will happen if it's not Odyssey 2, because it again Odyssey is just such a fun game to me. But
Yeah.
if that does happen, it's gonna be interesting to see like it's gonna be like leaving friends behind in another community. It's gonna be like obviously I'm still
I,
gonna talk to them, but it's just gonna be like I don't know. I'm just probably gonna talk to them a little bit less if they don't play the same game. Obviously,
I
I
feel
don't
like
know.
there will probably be a lot of transfer to the new 3D Mario from the Odyssey community, unless, like you said, it's
Yeah,
just like very different from Odyssey or doesn't feel smooth or something. Like I don't know. I just think there's going to be a lot of carryover, at least at the beginning. Even if people go back to Odyssey for a while, they'll stick with the new one.
yeah, it'll be interesting to see who kind of transfers to it and who doesn't. But with that being said, I think that's going to kind of wrap up this episode. Where can we find you?
On Twitch, Twitter, YouTube, Instagram, all at SudaiDelphi, SudaiDelphi, and yeah, they all the same name makes it easy.
Yeah. All right, cool. I will make sure to have all of Sudai's socials linked in the description as always. And before we end
Thank
this
you.
episode off, I'm gonna announce the next episode guest, which is King J 044. Wait, 0444. Just trying to count the fours. Uh, really cool guy, multi Mario guy. He is the one that hosted the 70 star relay Summer Pace 2023, the 120 star relay this last Summer Pace. Um, and yeah, pretty cool guy. Got to know him through Pace a lot.
Yeah, I'm excited to see that. He seems to do a lot of like speedrun events. I've noticed he
Yeah,
submits a run for almost every single one, and he goes to all of them. Excited you're having him on. I'm excited to watch that episode.
yeah, he's pretty cool. I've had plans to have him on for a while, but like I was trying to find the right time because I'm trying to do like Odyssey person, non-Odyssey person, like do some sort of
Mix
schedule
it
with
up,
that, and
yeah.
also make it work for other people, make it as different each episode as possible. So that should be a lot of fun. Um, and then we'll only have two more episodes after that, which is pretty exciting. And
Nice.
then I'll probably start up a season 2 like in January or something like that for anyone
That's
wondering.
cool.
Um, but yeah, thank you everyone for watching. We'll see you in another 2 weeks. Oh, also for anyone watching on YouTube, um, within the next 2 weeks after this video comes out, I'm gonna have a trailer for a pretty cool community series event thingy that I'm planning on hosting soon. So look forward to that as well. But yeah, thanks everyone for
Sweet.
watching, and I'll see you guys next time.
Thanks for having me.
Bye.